So our next presenter is going to give us a practical example. He is Anusan Sivarasa. He is an environmental professional and a Master's of Science climate change student with experience in disaster risk reduction, climate resilience, and biodiversity conservation. He currently works as a disaster risk reduction coordinator at the Diocese of Colombo, supporting community-based resilience and environmental protection initiatives. Anusan, please, you can.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Anusan Sivarasa, representing Program of Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Resilience. This is our works on community-based mangrove restoration and conservation in Sri Lanka. In this approach, we are mostly focused on biodiversity conservation, climate resilience, and environmental conservation with community empowerment. Before I go to the our works, I would like to introduce mangrove ecosystem. Mangroves are a very unique group of plants that may grow in the intertidal zone of tropical and subtropical coastlines where sea and land meets. These species can survive in challenging environments like less oxygen, saline water, or water trap soil and wave movements. So for these challenging environments, these species have adaptive mechanism in their roots or in leaves. For these challenging environment, their roots can absorb air from outside of the land, and also they have different adaptation mechanism. In Sri Lanka, coastal communities mostly faced climate change impacts such as sea level rise and coastal flooding, cyclonic event. For these kind of environmental and disaster event, mangroves can serve as nature-based solution, unlike engineering or engineered structures. These can be serve as cost-effective and mostly natural-based solution for mitigating climate impact. When we consider why focus on mangrove restoration, as I mentioned, mangroves are critical coastal ecosystem. They
Sí, yo te
connect.
escucho, pero sí él se está moviendo. Sí.
They connect
Hola, Eli.
biodiversity conservation with disaster risk reduction, and also restoration is a practical community-driven climate solution. It is very cost-effective and very practical solution. Our works mostly focus on field level restoration and community engagement. Let's focus on importance of mangrove ecosystem. Mangroves can act as natural barriers against storms, waves, and erosion. As you see in this picture, it is a mangrove species called Rhizophora. It has a different root system. So these roots can trap the sediments and can help to reduce the coastal erosion. And also this root system can reduce the wave energy and can help to reduce the coastal flooding. And also mangrove ecosystem serve as blue carbon storage for climate mitigation. As we know, nowadays the world is facing adverse impact of the climate change. This ecosystem can help to mitigate, like because of climate change, because of the causes of climate change, most of the greenhouse gases are emitting to the atmosphere. So these plant species can absorb more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and they can store the carbon in their biomass, or they can store in the soil as carbon sequestration. These species can serve as nursery grounds for fish and marine biodiversity. As the marine ecosystem, marine organisms like fish, crab, shrimps can lay their eggs into this ecosystem, and this ecosystem can be protective for their eggs and young organisms. Not only for the marine organism, it helps for various mammals, reptiles, various insects, even birds also. As I mentioned earlier, this as the more fish production ground is this, the coastal communities can get more beneficiaries from benefit from this ecosystem. Like they can get more fish, shrimp, or crab from this area, and also they can directly link with their livelihood activities with using mangrove parts like leaves or streams or roots. And also this ecosystem can serve as coastal water quality improvement. Like land areas bring polluted water to the sea. This ecosystem can be the middle of the land and sea. So the before entering the water, this ecosystem purify the water and they let into the marine. Let's focus our approach. Our approach is mostly focused on community-based restoration. Our restoration work under DRR and climate resilient follows community participation in planning and monitoring. Most of the restoration activities are failed because of not considering the communities in the planning and all stages of the restoration. But in our case, we are consulting with the community in the planning stage, like we are taking the knowledge, additional knowledge from them, and whether they need the restoration in their own community. Like that, we are doing the community participation in our restoration stages. And also our programs mostly focus on youth engagement and capacity building of youth and the community. The most important part of our restoration is the site-specific ecological assessment. Before doing the restoration, we are doing scientific assessment whether our selected species are suitable for those areas. We are doing soil analysis and also whether water is suitable for the mangroves. And also we are focusing on existing mangrove species. After these above steps, we are doing the restoration. For the restoration also, we are collaborating with the community and other organizations. And also we are focusing on capacity building and long-term sustainability of our planted mangroves. These are the best examples of our restoration. We have done major two restoration. One is in north part of Sri Lanka and another one is west part of Sri Lanka. And the first picture is showing Karanagar community restoration. This community is mostly vulnerable for climate change impact like sea level rise, saltwater intrusion, coastal flooding, and cyclonic event. And also these communities are vulnerable because they are only depend on fishing. So we selected this community for our restoration and we have done the consultation with the community. In our starting consultation time, the community do not have much interested in the restoration. After we did the capacity building and give the knowledge of what are the important of the mangrove restoration, this community like to do the restoration in their area. In this restoration, we have planted three kind of mangrove species like Rhizopora, Cereoptagal, and Avicennia in last year. After 10 months, we got the survival rate about 50%. In Sri Lanka, the normal restoration rate, according to the research, 5% to 10%. But in our restoration, we got more survival rate. Even after Dichwa cyclone, we got these results. And also after doing this restoration, we have identified which are the most suitable species for this site. We have found that Avicennia had more survival rate. For after that, we have planted more Avicennia species again in this restoration site. And also after restoration, we have give knowledge to the community on how to monitor the planted mangroves and how to look after, because after planting, maybe the algae and other plastic particles may come and stay with the seedling. So we gave the knowledge to the community how to monitor the species. So because of this community ownership, we got this success. And same process we have done in Negambu area as well. Another our invention is youth mangrove training in Mannar. In Mannar also different climate vulnerable district, like it has island and more coastal ecosystem like mangrove ecosystem, coral, seagrasses. And also this district is more developing district, so most of the development activities destroying the coastal ecosystem. Because of that, most of the NGOs and like industries like to do the restoration in this area to showcase their carbon credit. So they are only planting the mangroves without proper scientific research and monitoring. Because of that, um, it's destroying this ecosystem. Therefore, we selected some key youth in this district and gave the training on what is the proper restoration, how to identify the proper restoration, and we have done some class session and in field session, as well as we have done uh, demo restoration initiatives. After this training, these youth got confidence on asking question against strong restoration activities in MENA. And also we are mostly focused on field visit for school students and young people, because classroom study is not enough to identify the ecosystem. So the field visits are best tools for conservation education. In this field visit, we help to the students on identifying species and ecological function of the species. And also same time we have identified what are the threats we can observe from the site. So during our field visit, we can observe more plastic waste or development activities in the mangrove ecosystem, and erosion also we observe. So from this observation, we gave chance to the young people to give some solution to mitigate this kind of environmental degradation. Another our activity is seed collection training, because in our restoration site there is no mangrove nursery, so we are taking the mangrove seedling from little far from the Jaffna district. So we observe this is a lake in the community, so we could give the training to the community. So if the community is willing to do the restoration like nursery production, they can do it. So it can be the livelihood improvement for them as well. And also during this training, we are mostly focusing on identification of healthy mangrove propagules and sustainable seed collection method, nursery preparation, and preparation for large-scale restoration activities. As I mentioned, most of the things earlier, our restoration activity is mostly depend on community. So we closely work with local community. As I mentioned, we are doing the consultation with the community before restoration, and also we mostly include fishermen, because they are the direct beneficiaries from the mangrove ecosystem, and also coastal residents, as they are vulnerable for climate change impact. And also we include school students, youth group, and also we are doing some capacity development for them. And for the restoration activity, it is very difficult to success by doing as one organization. Therefore, we are partnering with different environmental organizations such as environmental clubs, schools, and universities. For example, for our mangrove field visit, we are bringing university students to the field so they can explain the basic things to the students, so as they are technical knowledge people, so they can easily demonstrate to the students. So it may benefit to the our side also, and also university students also can get field experiences during that time. And also we are collaborating with government agencies regarding the permissions and the more technical guidance. This is end of my presentation. And restoration mangroves is not just environmental work, it's building resilience for our future generation. Thank you so much.